Have you ever been in that tricky situation where someone tells you something important just once,
Oh, yeah,
and you instantly know you need to remember every single detail perfectly?
definitely. That hear it once pressure.
That's a real challenge, isn't it?
Hmm.
Well, today, our deep dive takes us right into that kind of high-stakes information capture.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here is how a very specific task, right from dictation, from a PTE guide,
QT. Oh,
Pearson Test of English, sorry, it's from their listening guide. And it's just a remarkable case study in, well, precise listening and recall.
okay.
You hear a sentence only one time, and your goal is to type it exactly as you heard it.
Exactly. Wow.
It's a direct test of your auditory memory or transcription skills because, sounds are so fleeting, unlike seeing something written down.
Right. It vanishes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Your brain has to grab that whole sentence, hold it in its sort of temporary working memory
Okay.
before you can even start turning it into text.
So that's really the mission for us today, then, to pull out the most important bits of wisdom from this guide.
Yep.
We're talking critical strategies for, well, capturing spoken sentences accurately. And maybe what this tells us more broadly about how our brains hold on to information that just disappears.
And it's a high-value task in the test, by the way. It's not just a small thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you typically get maybe 3 or 4 sentences, and you earn 1 mark for every single correctly spelled word.
1 mark per word.
Per word. So if a sentence has, say, 9 words, like after the gold rush, many people were still impoverished, that's 9 potential marks. Just
9 marks, just for the words. Okay, that is significant.
huge.
And that leads us, I guess, straight to the first big principle the guide talks about, which sounds kind of counterintuitive. Never write while you listen.
Bingo. That's the core rule. And it's not just a test tip, It really reveals something fundamental about processing transient info.
How so?
Well, the guide is very clear. You will hear the sentence only once.
No second chances.
None. No rewind button. And trying to process new sounds coming in while you're trying to type or write, it just splits your focus, your cognitive resources.
Ah.
Think of your brain like a short-term buffer for sound. You need to let it fill up completely first.
Let the whole sentence land.
Exactly. Before you try to pour it out onto the page or the screen, if you try doing both at once, you're guaranteed to miss pieces. It's about letting the input finish.
So it's like prioritize hearing everything properly, then switch to writing it down. It reminds me of, trying to write down directions while someone's still talking.
Precisely.
And you realize you missed the first turn because you were busy writing the street name.
That's the exact pitfall. Cognitive overload.
Yeah.
So the strategy is listen completely, then immediately after it finishes, write down as much as you possibly can.
Yeah. Get it down fast while it's fresh.
And it's not just the words either. The guide also really stresses absolute precision with the mechanics, like capitalization and punctuation.
Okay, so accuracy goes beyond just the words themselves.
Oh, yeah. You must always capitalize the first word of the sentence. Always. And any proper nouns, of course.
Standard rules, but critical here.
Absolutely critical. And you need that period, or maybe a question mark, right at the end. The scoring might focus on words, but the guide insists on these rules for, overall accuracy and completeness.
And you get time to check after.
Yes, you do get time to check spelling and punctuation after you've typed it out, but that initial capture, that has to come straight from memory, fast and accurate.
Okay, so let's sort of boil this down for everyone listening. What are the key takeaways here beyond just this specific test?
Well, first, the absolute importance of listening, fully listening before you even think about writing or typing. That seems key.
Don't try to multitask when the input is fleeting.
Exactly. Second, every single word counts, spelled correctly. And third, don't forget the basic mechanics capitalization, the full stop at the end. Precision matters.
So listen fully, transcribe immediately after, then check.
That's the sequence. And remember, you often only do hear things once in real life too, right? Critical instructions, maybe points in a meeting.
Good point.
So that focused listening, then quick, accurate recall, paying attention to detail under pressure. These are genuinely useful skills. Think client briefings, medical instructions, anywhere, precision is vital.
Right. It's not just about passing a test. It's about effective communication and information handling in general.
Totally.
Which kind of leads to a final thought, maybe something for you, our listener, to mull over. What does this demand for? Well, perfect recall in a task like write from dictation. What does it really teach us about how our brains handle sound, especially under pressure? And maybe how can we take that insight, that need for focused capture, and apply it more effectively in our everyday lives? way beyond any test.